Yep, we're good.
All right,
Back on.
so if you think of lumbar, think of a moose. You see a big kind of chunky nose? You see a big kind of chunky nose on your vertebrae? Are you looking at your vertebrae, your lumbar vertebrae? You see antlers and ears sticking up, yes?
Yeah.
You see antlers and ears sticking up, yes? Yeah? You see a wattle hanging down from its neck. And here you have a wattle hanging down. Good?
I see, yep.
Yep. So, lumbar, think moose. They're lumbering around, big animal. Good, good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, looking at the shape of the spinous process is just memorizing those three shapes and what animal they look like. You don't even know the name of the animal. I don't care if you know the name of the animal. But if you see a rhino with two, think cervical. Now, not all cervical are that way. We already said that if you look at the atlas, it doesn't have a spinous process. It doesn't have a body. It's a very special vertebrae. Good?
It's the only one that doesn't have one?
As far as I know, yeah. Good? All right. So we've got vertebrae shapes. Let's go back to our list. All right, we did foramen magnum. We did occipital condyle. That's kind of a ramble, but we did occipital condyle. You agree? All right. Foramen on interior cranial surface, figure 9.2. That's weird. Oh, once you know two of them that are in figure 9.2. They're in 9.2. They are the carotid canal, which is in the temporal bone, and the jugular foramen, I should say, is in. It's where the temporal and the occipital meet on that suture. You're going to have the carotid, you're going to have the jugular there. Jugular is probably going to be bigger because veins are bigger and flabbier. Does this make sense? Everybody good? All right. So that's, you can do that. We got to move fast, we're running out of time. Have we talked about the sagittal suture? I'm not hearing yeses. Have we talked about the coronal?
Yes.
Have we talked about the lambdoidal?
That's the weird one, the transverse one.
That's the one that is around the occipital, and that involves occipital to temporal in the low parts and occipital to parietal in the higher part of it. That's shaped kind of like the Greek letter lambda if you use your imagination. All right, the squamosal, that's the one above and around the temporal. Good? Yep. All right, so skull bones. The maxilla, that is this upper jaw bone. Good? Upper jaw, hold it up here. This is maxilla. Everybody solid? Maxilla. Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Alex. I'll move this aside. This is your maxilla. It has a vertical part, and then it has a horizontal part. The horizontal part here is the palatine process of the maxillary bone. Are we good?
Yes.
Right, so you probably guessed behind it, touching it, is the palatine bones. There are two palatine bones. Good? All right, one on each side. So we've done that. The other two that we need in the maxilla are the alveolar margin. We already talked about it. Those are the tooth sockets. The margin is right here where we go from the vertical part of the maxilla to the horizontal part of the maxima. That margin has holes in it, tooth sockets. That's the alveolar margin because it has the holes in it. Good? Infraorbital. We did the supraorbital notch. You remember? Infra means below. You can probably spot them. They're right there. Those are your infraorbitals.
Those are the tear canals?
No. That's going to be lacrimal. That's going to be right here. Okay? Nerves, blood vessels.
Okay.
All right. But those are your infraorbital. Now, we already told you where the palatine is. It's the back of the hard palate. Good? All right. Zygomatic cheekbones. Right here. Extending around the side as the zygomatic arch, as part of the zygomatic arch, the front part, the anterior part of the zygomatic arch. Are we good? Yes?
Yes.
All right. Lacrimal. There's your tear ducts. If you pull up a picture in your textbook, you could barely see them from the front. They're these tiny little things. I think they were in blue when I looked at it. All right, they have fetal skull, moving back. We are looking at, not picture 117, that's from the side, not 118, 119. Okay, 123, they made them kind of aqua. So we had the nasal bones here, yes? Go around to the side right there where the tear ducts are. Those are lacrimal bones. Good. Look at them on page 123. They are on each side, right at the corner of the lower edge of the eye socket. Good? Yes? All right. So that's lacrimal. There are no features you need to know. Nasal, we already pointed out. You already saw photos of them on a live human. Terrifying, isn't it? Okay. Vomer, sticking up. Bottom of nasal cavity sticking up. Here, I'll pull it up so you can see it better.
That's the one that's inside the skull, right?
Inside the nose, bottom of the skull. Yeah. Or bottom of nasal cavity. Yeah. Let's go with see if we have one. Oh, we do. Excellent. So let's see if we can blow it up big.
Control plus.
Yeah. We'll do that in a second. First, I wanted to get it here, but it's big enough. So you see it, that vertical looking blade of bone, it forms the bottom of the bony part of the septum between the nostrils.
The spear tip.
Yeah. Okay, but this is your vomer sticking up. Above that is the perpendicular process of the ethmoid bone. Good? Yes? Everybody solid?
Yes.
All right, so that's your vomer. There are no features on it that they ask you to learn. The mandible, that's your lower jaw. And you probably guessed your lower jaw has teeth in it, yes. So it has an alveolar margin. That's where the teeth go in. Now, the mandibular condyle, we already talked about it. That is this rounded part on the bottom of the mandible that articulates with the temporal bone. That's where the joint is for the jaw. Good? Yep. Don't worry, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up so you can see it. You're looking puzzled. I want to also point out the coronoid. You see the ramus, the sticky uppy part? The posterior part will be the condyle, and the interior part will be the ramus. The interior part will be the coronoid.